Welcome back, you beautiful people, and today, wow. Welcome back, you beautiful people, and today it's all about, what the hell? Welcome back, you beautiful people, and today it's all about riding cross bikes. Tom Lars!
Cyclo-Cross, what's going on, mate?
How are you going?
This is mine, hold that.
Okay.
I'll get yours.
This is like, it's a road bike for the dirt.
No, Blake, it's not a road bike for the dirt. There's your bike.
Look at that.
You've got a monster cross bike.
I got a 650B.
Yeah, today it's all about cyclocross.
Right.
Cyclo-Cross bikes, they might look like they're kind of slightly worse mountain bikes. That absolutely isn't true. What cross bikes are great at is going off-road.
Yeah.
And if, like many of us, you don't live near a beautiful mountain range, you don't live near... I'm out of breath. If you live near trails which maybe aren't as challenging, if you don't live near a beautiful mountain range, or if you've got a few bits of road, a few bits of kind of hard-packed
like
trail
the Netherlands.
to link... Yeah, exactly. Or many areas of the UK, pretty much anywhere flattish or hilly-ish.
Yeah.
Cyclo-cross bikes take average mountain bike trails that you may have progressed past, and make them really fun.
Yeah, well, I've always been interested in the cyclo-cross bike. When New Proof brought this one out, the Digger, it's a 650B, it's got big tyres.
It's a monster cross
So
bike.
it's a monster cross bike. Yours is a 700C tyre.
Yeah, this I've actually borrowed from our colleague Simon Richard. This is a Trek Crockett, so this is one of Trek's racing cross bikes.
Right.
So you can see there are a few key differences between this and yours. Probably the biggest one for me is the much narrower tyres.
Yeah.
So this has got 33 mil tyres.
I'm 47.
You got 47, so you got a slight advantage there, but it's still going to be fun. You've also got a dropper post.
I have got a dropper post that's bringing that mountain biking thing to it, and my bars. Look how wide mine are compared to yours.
Yeah, somewhat.
Somewhat massive.
But yeah, key differences between this and a mountain bike. Got disc brakes. It's probably got wider tyres than cross-country bikes had a few years ago.
Yeah.
So not too much different there. Obviously, it's fully rigid, but again, if you're riding on trails that you find a bit simpler,
yeah,
I think that makes it more fun.
I can't wait to get out there. We're out here at Ashton Court. There's a lot of trails here, so you're going to teach me the fundamental bits on tips and tricks.
Exactly. We're going to run through like a few skills that, if you get a cross bike, which personally I love cyclocross, I recommend you do, they'll help you to get more out of it.
Yeah.
All right, and Blake, so we've ridden the first little bit of trail.
Yeah.
First impressions, what are the big differences for you?
Well, because I ride mountain bike and the handlebars are literally like this.
Those are wide though.
These are super wide, yeah, compared to those. So I thought, man, let's make it different, and I'm super excited and curious what it's like on the drops. Now, riding through there, my whole body weight, I'm like really low. But luckily I've got a dropper, I can drop that saddle away. When it comes to riding, is there a preference like there or here on the hoods, near the brakes, or?
Yeah, I think broadly it's personal preference.
Yeah.
Like for most stuff, flat, uphill, kind of gently downhill, I'd probably be here.
Okay.
If I was chilling out on the flat or on an uphill, not that I can chill out on an uphill anymore,
Yeah.
I'd probably be here.
Yeah.
For certain slow speed downhills,
Yeah.
I'd be on my hoods here.
Okay.
And you know, like with these SRAM ones, you've got a big, a big lever there, so
big
you've got a
lever,
really
yeah.
solid grip.
Yeah.
And then for like really steep or faster downhills, I'd prefer to be here.
Okay.
And that's because I just feel that you have more security when you're
Right.
there. If you think, like we said earlier, you
Yeah.
are on a fully rigid bike.
Yeah.
So if you hit a bump and you're here and you're not holding on properly,
You just bounce off
you've got a bit
because
of a
you're not
problem.
holding. Yeah,
Whereas
I
if
get
you're
it.
here, you kind of,
Yeah.
I just feel like you're more secure, you're locked in, you can brake, you can change gear,
Yeah.
all sorted.
Yeah. Oh, mate. So, well, I'm going to try both actually. On the jumps, it's like I feel like there I can.
I think that's probably the place on the jumps, yeah.
Manipulate the bike a lot more than like pulling up, because I feel like I pull them off. don't know about you, right? But riding this on a mountain bike that's full suspension is like, we take this bit of trail for granted on how rough it is actually underneath you. We get on one of these, holy moly, everything changes.
It's like a challenge, right?
It is super challenging. Like, your line choice has to be kind of spot on. You don't want to square a rock on.
Super important, because you hit a rock dead on.
I did hit a rock. You hit.
You got a spare tube?
No, I didn't bring anything.
With different size tyres anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you've got to pick your line super carefully. This, like we were saying earlier, you know, some people will descend there.
Yeah.
But I think this descent with the drops and stuff like that is really one where you want to be in the drops of your bars, just for that bit of security.
I felt a little bit more secure. I rode down there like this the first go, and the second go I went on the drops. I was like, way better, and I lowered my saddle, which
I don't have that option, but yeah, I'm sure it's a good one.
I think, yeah, it's a must for sure.
Watch this, Blake.
Yeah, all right. Well, wow. How? Oh no, that was smooth. Teach me.
Right, Blake. So, probably like an infamous cyclo-cross skill is people running around fields with their bikes on their back.
I have seen that through muddy, boggy situations.
Exactly. We're not saying that you need to do that all the time.
Yeah.
But it's a useful one to have in the back pocket. Like if you've got gates or stiles or a bit of trail that's really, like I said, boggy,
rocky,
kind of not that fun to ride, quicker to walk it basically.
Yeah.
For getting off a cross bike, you want to choose which side you get off on. Most people will choose to get off on the non-drive side. To get off your bike, unclip your right foot, swing it over your right wheel, and then don't step through, bring it parallel with your left foot, and then you kind of hop off. It'll all make sense. If you've got clipless pedals, it's fine. Your feet do come out. If you've got flat pedals, you don't have to worry about it.
Is that good?
Yes.
That hurt.
A little bit of room for improvement, but looking good.
That hurt a little bit.
Right, Blake, so perhaps the most intimidating part of cyclo-cross skills is getting back on your bike.
Right.
You've had a couple of goes of it.
I've had a few, I've landed a bit weird, like kind of bit of pressure when I'm somewhere.
To be honest, it was much better after the first one. The first one didn't look that comfortable.
It wasn't very comfortable,
but
no.
There are a few really easy things you can work on here. So what you've got to think of is when you're getting back on your bike, like we said, you're aiming for this bit, the fleshy bit. So you can practice stationary just by doing that and sliding on.
Right.
And that's quite comfortable. Well,
let's try that.
At least that doesn't hurt. You put both hands on your bars if you want. So yeah, you fleshy bit on
and
there, slide on.
Straight to clips, which I'm going to struggle a little bit.
And then
I'm going to try.
Once you're happy with how you're doing that stationary, you can progress to doing it a little more slowly. So should we do that now?
Yeah.
Let's try.
Try slowly. Slowly, is that a word? Slowly,
I'm not sure it's in the dictionary.
It's in Blake's dictionary.
Remember, it's just a big step, land on the fleshy part, clip in.
Ah!
We go.
Nailed it. Got to get used to it.
I think, Blake, we're ready to tie it all together. So get off and get back on.
Yeah.
There's a bit in the middle that I think is probably most relevant to mountain bikers, which is carrying your bike properly. So should we have a look at that?
Yes.
Okay, Blake, so first thing, get onto this other side of the bike. Spin your pedals around so this one's facing backwards.
Like that?
Right there. So we were looking at this earlier with your bike, and it's a slightly smaller frame, so you're going to need to pick it up by the top tube. So like that.
Right underneath that.
So like that, yeah? Yep. So lift. No, lift the back mainly. So you lift in the back and you're doing that. Oh. Sliding on, and then you reach around the front. If your arms, your arms not long enough, so go under the down tube,
there.
like that. Like that?
Yeah.
Okay. So you've got...
I got it like that.
So if you've got to carry over a gate, carry through something, you got it, your bike's not going anywhere.
Okay. Wow.
And then we can talk more about riding later.
Yeah.
Put it all together.
Yeah.
Right, we're getting off.
Getting off.
Picking the bike up. Putting it down. Then we get back on.
Oh, that was not a good get on there.
That looks all right.
Yeah?
I think you nailed it. Right, Blake, it's been good. I've got to run and sort this out.
Yeah, you got a puncture.
but it's been good.
You can like cyclocross run your bike across that field.
I'm going to have to. But you can see what we were saying about a cyclo-cross bike is not an inferior mountain bike. It's about making trails that you find less challenging, things you find less challenging, more challenging.
Yeah, no,
we've definitely found that today, right?
I think I found, especially on this greasy, wet surface with these little tyres, which I call little compared to my 2.4s.
They're pretty big. They're big to me.
But thank you so much for giving me a bit of advice about
thanks for
cross,
having
because
me.
I've not done it.
It's been good. It's been good.
I think after riding it and jumping it, how hard can I actually push this thing?
We'll find out, right?
We'll find out. Don't forget to click the globe, to subscribe to the channel, because you're missing out on some great content. If you want to see some cool content, just click over there.
Yeah, and give it a thumbs up.
And we'll see you the next one.